There's that silence. Good evening. I see we have Pastor John here to lead us in prayer.
Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for the opportunity of coming before your throne. Lord, I thank you that you hear our prayer. Lord, your word says that if any is needing wisdom, that we can call on you and you will give that freely. I pray, oh God, that you would give wisdom to this governing body here tonight, that every decision that's made and every plan that's made would be done in a way that would bring honor and glory to your name. Lord, we pray for your blessing of safety and prosperity for our city of Oak Grove. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I call the March 1st, 2021 Board of Aldermen meeting to order. City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Kim Vickers,
Here.
Kelly Netto, Brandy Carroll,
Here.
Jeremy Taylor,
Here.
Brett Alexander,
Present.
Jim Shrout,
Here.
Dana Witt.
Here. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is new business, deletions, or continuances to the agenda. We do not have any of those, so the next item on the agenda would be public comments. I have three public comment forms in front of me. Citizens are to come forward to the microphone once I call your name. You state your name and your address. You have up to 2 minutes for your public comments. The first person would be Steve Adderman. Did I say that correctly? I say it wrong every time. I apologize.
Steve Aderman, I'm with the Oak Grove 70 Truck Stop, 301 Southwest 1st Street. Thank you for letting me speak tonight. We're worried about the effects of an additional 1 cent tax on our diesel fuel sales. Our customers only have to fuel every 1,000 to 1,500 miles. The state of Missouri is easy to bypass, but the city of Oak Grove is even easier to avoid. Y'all know that there's a Love's truck stop being built in Big City, which is only 3 miles east of here. Love's is a huge competitor. History has shown us that in the best of times, Love's will take 20% of our gallons from Oak Grove, and it will be even easier if we have an additional 1 cent burden. The fuel stops here will really struggle to keep our gallons. The PA and Quick Trip have other sites in the area and can actively move customers to other sites like Concordia and Columbia. I don't know where y'all got the amount of money you think you're going to raise, but Oak Grove is not a 40 million gallon market. If this passes, you aren't going to raise what you've been told. You'll extinguish our growth, and you'll risk significant sales tax income decrease from our non-fuel sales. This is a time when the city of Oak Grove should be working with us. And thank you.
Thank you. The next person that would like to have a speaker appearance would be Mark Garner. Hello.
I'm not even sure the protocol is supposed to be used there, but I've been trying to get solar at my house and running into roadblocks. Apparently there's guidelines from 2013 that's being used that if I want solar to be on the ground outside, I have to have 3 acres of land in the city. solar panels up. So I tried doing that last year, in September through December. That didn't work. So this year I tried doing it on my roof, and I got stopped because I have to be 2 feet from the peak of the roof and 2 feet from the gutter of the roof. And I'm on Royal Street, excuse me, I didn't give my address, 1619 Southeast Royal.
Okay, thank you.
So my house faces north and south on the length side of it. The west side, you can't have panels up on that side, I guess. So I'm not sure where I need to go with it. I'm at a standstill. I've already told them to cancel my order for the solar. So who do I talk to and where do I go from here?
Have you been has your contractor been into City Hall and
Yes,
did all of?
They've gone through it twice. The first time, like I said, they was trying to do it out of the ground. I've got, where I'm at, there was a 12-acre slot behind my house,
Mm-hmm.
and I bought my lot. So actually, that lot's bigger than my house lot. I was trying to put it back there. At my house, it sits this way, then goes down where that other lot is.
Mm-hmm.
And you wouldn't even see the panels back there. But I don't have 3 acres.
Right.
So we're supposed to be changing the solar somewhere down the road. Seems like these guidelines need to be changed because they're a little bit they're outdated or something. Something's not working.
So this part is for public comments, which I'm thankful that you're here tonight, but I would have to direct you back to city staff to visit with them. So I would suggest that you go in and visit with Mr. Randall. He's seated right there. He can give you one of his cards before you leave tonight, and you could go in and visit with him of more detail of that. But thank you for bringing it up. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, the next person that is here for speaker appearance would be Linda Lucas. Good evening, Linda.
Hi. I'm a little slow.
It's okay.
I'm here to talk about the water bills. We've had one heck of a year. We've had to deal with culverts, a deep freeze, and loss of jobs. And I talked to Matthew, he was nice enough to return my phone call. We have talked about the citizens who really need your help in making payment arrangements with the city, that they would set up with that person or those citizens that are having a hard time during this period. And we've had broken water lines, that water that broke inside the house will go through your meter, but it didn't necessarily go down the sewer. So I have an idea that maybe the month before they had broken pipes, that you could take that sewer usage and add it on to what they might have had for March. This will be the end of the monthly averaging. And the city's not gonna be no fool, and I'm not gonna be no fool. And I called the city to maybe help somebody, but to find out, they lied on Facebook to me. I'm gonna check to see if they really need help. Because I feel from now on, in the fall, the city needs to we're starting our 3-month averaging. At the end of March, we are ending our monthly averaging. But if you have had pipes break inside your house, that doesn't go down the sewer. It goes all over your house, of course you know. And so is there a way that you can go back to the bill the month before and average that out with what they may have had in the deep freeze part, broken pipes? Is that a possibility?
Are you asking that question tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah. This would just be a time for you to more or less voice your opinion and concerns. And then if, city staff is listening to this, and as you've already said, you spoke to Mr. Randall about it. And so I'm sure he's already looking into things and will let us know if we need to bring something back.
I happened to think about the sewer part of this bill. If that water during the last week of February, a week ago, Monday, we had those freezes.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna sewer part of the bill for the next 9 months. So go back to the month before and maybe use that usage that they would normally use and make that their averaging. Would that work, Matthew?
So correct me if I'm wrong, we do have payment arrangements for people if they're behind on their water bills,
Yeah.
correct? Can someone address that?
Yeah, so we can, in limited circumstances, for
Yes.
those folks that have had either a water break in their house that was unidentified due to the location, or for hardship.
Okay,
But
So
they're
we-
gonna have to come forward and prove that. We're not gonna be no fools and put money down when it's not necessary.
We do not just randomly make adjustments on the water bills. If they call us and they have a break,
correct.
we ask them to bring in a receipt where they've had it repaired, and then we work with them.
Gotcha.
We can't just, somebody call and say, oh, I've got a high water bill. We have a procedure for that.
Yeah. So Linda, thank you for, yeah, and I thank you for having concerns of other citizens that have these things happen. Whoever this person is that you're referring to, I would tell them to do as Kathy said and bring in the information, and then the city would work with whoever that is, if possible, to make a pay arrangement. If that's what you're asking, I want to make sure that's what you're asking.
Jeremy Taylor did a very nice thing for me back in the fall where we started the monthly averaging. He said what Linda's posting is correct and that other person shut up. I like that when they can't buck Jeremy Taylor, And so they have been confused on this situation with the monthly averaging still, since we've done it since the early 2000s.
Right.
And I would like from now on, for it to be put on the Oak page and in the paper when they start it and when they stop it. So this next bill they get will be the end of the monthly averaging for those 3 months. They're always the months behind.
Right.
And I hope the Focus prints this because we've had a lot of rhetoric over it. And I thank you guys and thank Jeremy Taylor for sticking up for me.
All right. Thank you,
You're
Linda.
doing the right thing, Linda. And Matthew was nice enough to return my phone.
Good. Those are all great things to hear. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Uh-huh. That would be the end of our speaker appearances. The next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. These items are considered on the consent agenda so that members of the Board of Aldermen, by unanimous consent, can designate routine items to be approved by one motion. If any item proposed on the consent agenda does not meet with the approval of all board members, that item will be removed and heard at a regular time. There are 2 items tonight on the consent agenda: approval of the February 16th, 2021 Board of Aldermen meeting minutes and expenditures through February 25th, 2021.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is unfinished business. We do not have any of that tonight, so we will move on to new business. The first thing we have is a presentation from the Oak Grove Chamber of Commerce. And I believe that is you, Angie Miller. Would you please state your name and your position at the chamber?
Yes, my name's Angie Miller, and I am this year's chamber president. I've actually been president for the 2021 year. I always like to tell people, this is not my job. I actually work for State Bank in Green Valley, and my bank is a member of the Oak Grove Chamber, and this is my 3rd year serving a term on the chamber board. And I got with Matt and basically Dana, and I said, hey, the city, we come to you each year and discuss a growth partnership with you. And I thought this year would be a great year to give you guys kind of an update of what has happened to our Oak Grove Chamber. And that's mainly because things have completely changed in 2020 for us. And I gave you all kind of just a quick outline. It's notes and information that I want you to be able to take with you. And so, first of all, I just wanted to tell you our introduction of our board members. I don't believe have any present. Oh, your badge stuck in on me. Okay. We have a few funerals and some COVID and some other stuff going on through our chamber, so, I didn't get everybody here tonight, but I wanna just say their names. I have Megan Timothy, she was with the Oak Grove Chiropractic. She's actually our treasurer this year. We have Stacy McLaughlin, she is, with Central Bank. I have Josh Bird with Bird Automotive. We also have Mary Ann White, who's with Commercial Bank of Oak Grove. Ruth Ann here behind me, she's with the Focus Paper, and she has been our secretary for 2 years now. And then we have Kelly Henderson, who's with Beacon here in town. We have Tracy Carpenter, who's with the Methodist Church here. And then we have Tracy Newcomer, who is with Jackson Avenue. And then Tom Meyer as our MC in Blue River. We also have Stacy, I got all those, right? Get them all? Yes, okay. So, last year in June, as, financially, the membership, our membership dues was running out. We had a director that was part-time to work 20 hours. And the board had to come together and decide that, that we had to either shut the facility down, you know, we just, what do you do? We couldn't have any events last year in 2020. So the board of directors decided that we probably should just, go ahead and temporarily pause the chamber, which caused us to lay off our director. So, at the same time that was happening, the city was so kind, they continued to give us their Grow membership, and I will tell you, thank you, because that truly, kept the rent going till October. It paid utilities, it helped keep our internet page up and running. It also, allowed us to kind of keep everything active that was happening behind the scenes, but again, not having a director. So it took quite a bit of us board members to come together. We had to learn like everything about the chamber, because I was just a full-time employee trying to volunteer for the chamber, and I became a semi-director on the back end. So it was learning our system, it was learning our basically our membership too as well. So thank you, City of Oak Grove. If it really wasn't for your Grow membership in 2020, we would probably not be here to this day. So thank you, cannot thank you enough. Right, Ruth Ann? Yes. So a little bit of history of how the chamber makes their money is, of course, by membership. We have roughly around 86 members at this time. And that membership is collected typically at the end of December, and then probably pretty much first part of the year, the chamber, the director would thrive on that as her income. And so, come to the conclusion when we ended in 2020, we came out somewhat ahead with a little bit in our bank account, which we were super happy. But we knew towards the end of 2020, we were like, we're not just going to be defeated. We came back, and we actually had a November luncheon, and back in September, several of us board members said, you know, we can't have our Fall Fest, and we knew we couldn't, so we came, and our highlight last year was Small Business Saturday. And part of our, you know, we used a little bit of funds that we could to advertise and get the word out. And it wasn't just our membership, it ended up being a wonderful event that Saturday. I actually had a couple of people in the community that have small businesses said that they saw at least over 50% of the people that day they had never seen before in their stores. So I felt that as a chamber, we were pretty successful at that event. So that was kind of our highlight. And since we went volunteer, I had to refocus as a president, what is the big piece and components of our chamber, and how are we gonna survive in 2021? So I broke it down, and you guys can see by your notes that we had to develop a financial committee. And each of these committees, of course, ran typically by myself as president, but these are what's happening behind the scenes to keep it alive. So we no longer have a facility But the emails and the phone are basically, luckily, are rolling into cell phone, into my cell phone is the Oak Grove Chamber phone number. So I average probably 2 calls a day from the chamber office. So, basically, you know, our webpage is up and running still, our Facebook page is live and active, so we had to break it down into lunch committees, event committees, and membership committees. So, and you guys can kind of see, I'm not gonna break this down, but it's how we're gonna survive in 2021 is our action plan. So when the board originally met at the beginning of the year, they said, we're gonna still have events. We cannot let, you know, everything that's been happening us to in 2020. So as you can see in 2021, we have created our calendar, and this is our action plan for this year. Our first really big event, and we did kick off with the February lunch, but typically the chamber has an annual awards and banquet in January, and we are having one March 19th where we will give multiple awards out to several members throughout the community here in Oak Grove. We tried this last year. We really wanted to have a chocolate crawl, and this is a community partnership with the downtown businesses again. It is rolling out for April 1st, and we're pretty excited because it's kind of like the Trails for Treats that we've had in the past. We'll continue to have luncheons. We hope to have a May 1st Small Business Saturday because we had such a blast last October at our first one. We'll continue on with luncheons. We have a committee working on our golf tournament we hope to have in June. And then we're looking ahead, and we'd like to pencil in October 23rd as our fall fest. And then, again, luncheons and ending the year in 2021. That's kind of why I made the calendar for you guys. You need to go home, put those dates on your calendar, people, okay? So, and that's kind of the chamber in itself. We're running, we're thriving. I'm thankful for my employer for typically, like I said, I spend about an hour a day doing chamber stuff on the sidebar. So, and I know several of us meet pretty much every Thursday for our events committee and basically planning our events that are happening behind the scenes. So, do any of you guys have any questions?
Questions from the board?
All right, just one more thing. Something that we partnership with you besides our Grow membership that we ask you every year is that a lot of people don't know that the farmers market that's here in town, it's an event that we run together. And so the last couple of years, the ground is owned by you as the city, but we manage it as a chamber. And I'm requesting that we look at there's an agreement that's out there between the person that sits there on the lot and between us and the chamber and the city. And Matt and I have been discussing about asking that we kind of make it more of a fixed schedule, a little bit of a shorter hour, and just changing some wording in that agreement. So we're looking at just saying that it's going to open the first weekend in April. It's going to close the first weekend in November. And then the market is going to be open Saturday and Sunday, and they're going to be open 7 until sell out or 2 p.m. And then on Wednesdays, they're open from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. So, any questions on that?
No, I think it's good to change it a little bit. I've read that agreement before. Go ahead, Kathy.
I do have a question. Off of these hours here, that's when you guys have set up the farmer's market. Usually through the week, somebody shows up there and sets up and sells something.
Correct.
Do you want us to try to, I don't know how you all want to do this, because sometimes it's every day that they're there,
Right.
but they're off of chamber times. So do we need to get an agreement, or do we not let them do that.
Well, I
don't.
think that we've been handling it now that someone reports it, and,
And we hope with the future
No.
that we're looking at the signage to go on the
correct.
lot, that it will prevent that from happening in the future.
So before.
We have not been handling that. They just sit there and no one usually goes down unless it's a big, like we had one time, they took the whole place.
Okay.
We did go down there. Other than that, we are not telling them to move.
So I think it will, what she was speaking to was, before she was going to come give this presentation, there was already in the works to have some signage at the farmer's market to give these hours, so it helps enforce that time. But that was put on hold until after she had this presentation so that we could do that. So I think that might help with what we're talking about. Do you have anything to speak to that, Mr. Randall?
No, I was just going to remind the board of the current times of the farmer's market. Right now, it's from June 13th to November 6th, and it's 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., or 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., I'm sorry, Wednesdays, and Saturdays and Sundays. So this would lengthen the time frame of the calendar year, but then shorten the hours.
Gotcha.
And my true intent is to make that agreement that is being, I asked the individual to fill out annually is what I did last year for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
But all the wording's wrong in it now this year.
Right.
So, you know, I want it to actually say this, so they know they can go back to that agreement and say, okay, the first weekend of November it closes, so I can't be in there anymore. And they know the times and everything. And so it was just more of that closure for people that I don't have to go running them down, or future-wise, nobody from the chamber has to have them re-sign. And I just keep a notebook of these people. I've got their names, address,
Sure.
email, phone numbers.
So to speak to of what Kathy's saying, and then what we talked about enforcing that, if someone here tonight, one of the board members suggests for this to come back to city staff to review, can one of you, if you're interested, add that to that?
To review the
The farmer's
new
market?
thing.
Yeah. If you guys want to make any motion like that, you can.
Sure.
This is a presentation only, so this is going to go back and be reviewed with city staff anyways.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we need.
But
to
you don't
say
have
that.
to. If you want to, you guys can add anything you want or direct city staff with any comments. Yeah.
Yeah, so the original agreement was done in March of 2014 for the chamber to run a farmer's market on that lot. And at the time, several hours and dates were suggested, but I think reading back through the minutes of that meeting, essentially the agreement between the city and the chamber was for the chamber to run a farmer's market on that property really as they see fit. So, would we need an official motion, or if the board is comfortable with that, we can continue to have the agreement with the chamber, and the chamber decides the hours, and if the board's comfortable with that, then we'll purchase a sign to put on that property.
And just another note too, typically what happens is on Wednesdays, I drive by there and check people out, have them sign. Saturdays, I work one Saturday a month, so when I'm on my way to the bank, I drop in, and then on my way back, I drop back by. And that's how I grab people to sign the document. Other than that, I don't make them come to me and sign it, or I've emailed it too. So, that's another good thought too, so you guys know how it's being managed.
Right.
It's just kind of managing on my phone, so.
What are the exact guidelines of what people are supposed to sell there?
In the agreement, it's very specific. It has to be Missouri made or within like, I think it's 50 miles or something in Missouri. I know a lot of people have called and have questions. I go right to that agreement because, like I said, it was something that originated before me, and it just happened to be, thankful Kathy had it. And this is, last year probably was the first full year it was managed directly with that agreement, so.
But it doesn't have to be like homegrown produce or anything.
It is, it has to be, yeah, they can't sell like hats and purses and stuff, so unless it's at one of the chamber's special events and they've got an agreement. We also close that lot too on the events for the chamber, which is nice to have their emails and phone numbers, because I just emailed these people or catch them the weekend before.
Yeah, if I may, the products are supposed to be sold by the farmer, so not by a middleman. It's supposed to be the farmer who's grown or made the produce sells it there. There is guidelines for farmer's market that, don't quote me, but it's 10 to 15% of what's sold at a farmer's market can be sort of inorganic things that's supposed to elevate the experience of a farmer's market. So handmade goods, hand poured candles, those types of things
all be
that are of higher quality and handmade.
I feel like there's some middleman sales going on there. That's why I was asking.
Right.
So,
That's what they're trying to
Right.
possibly avoid or figure out how to manage that, so.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Thank you, Angie. Any other question? Go ahead.
I
Kim.
just have one.
Yeah.
And it's just out of ignorance on my own part. If someone wants to sell something, do they get in touch with the chamber? What's the process?
They have, yes.
Okay.
Typically, I think that I talk to them and just say, hey, well, I won't be there till this particular Saturday. Will you be there or not? I'll catch up with you. I have one committed person that's usually there every Saturday. I have left her the documentation and asked her to get it for me, because I know I can catch up with her later somewhere. Other than that, that's it, really.
Okay, thanks. Thank
I
you.
get a lot of calls.
My one final question would be that your new committee members, are those posted on your website and on Facebook so that businesses can get in touch with them?
No, we do not.
Okay.
Kind of, typically, if anybody's trying to get a hold of the chamber, they're emailing the chamber or they're calling the phone.
Okay.
Like, right now, the phone brings into my mobile, and it is answered 8 to 5, Monday through Friday.
Very good. Thank you. I don't think so. Anything else?
No.
All right. Thank you, Angie. Thank you. All right, the next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding a proposed application from Gary. I'm going to try this again tonight. Is it Dewick? You got it. Really? You help me. For a site plan for the new building at 603 Southwest First Street, Oak Grove, Missouri, nationwide trailers, as recommended by the Planning and Zoning Commission. City staff, do you have a report? Is
Yes,
it
thank
or
you,
Tom?
Mayor.
Okay.
So Nationwide Trailers has purchased a property at 603 Southwest First Street, pictured here on the screens. They're proposing to demolish an existing structure, build a 7,500 square foot retail sales and service center, as well as have approximately 125,000 square feet of outdoor sales area. The entire site is just under 10 acres. The total building coverage is less than the 75% maximum per code. All C3 zoning requirements are being met. The impervious area of the development is 196,000 square feet with a 17,500 square foot underground detention basin to meet stormwater requirements. The landscaping as well as outdoor illumination requirements are also being met. The parking requirements are being met per the UDC. And in reviewing the application and plans, city staff feels that the site plan meets the general requirements of the Unified Development Code and is within the scope of the comprehensive plan. So staff is recommending approval of the site plan. One note is that the Planning and Zoning Commission did recommend approval of the site plan and design review with Nishaha panels. The applicant in their site plan and design review put cementous panels or stucco. So the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval of those cementous panels. The applicant has done some cost analysis, and they are asking that the Board of Aldermen approve the site plan with stucco. Stucco is an approved material under the UDC, so staff doesn't have a concern with that type of material for that building. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions the board may have, and I believe the applicant, as well as our engineer and general contractor, are here for questions as well.
Thank you.
Is there samples?
Well, they had them last time. Did you guys bring your samples again? They got them.
Wait, I don't
Yes,
think I was
please.
here for it. Oh, you mean for the planning and zoning?
Planning
They
zone,
were here.
excuse
Oh,
me,
okay.
yeah. While he's getting those, does the board have any questions for Mr. Randall? You can just start down here, please. Or it looks like you have quite a few.
These are the Legion Hall, and these are the, just like the Ephes finish.
Thank you.
Look at 'em. Yeah. So you are using these ones? Or you're asking just to use this?
They want to use
Yeah.
this.
The
The Plan and
planning,
Zoning Commission
Wanted this?
put that specifically in, yeah.
Can they, is there a colored version of this that they were gonna put right here?
Yeah, it'd be the same colorings, it would just. be
so
different.
which one of you can come up to the microphone and answer a few of the questions that we're having? Can one of you or all of you? At the planning and zoning meeting, we had all of you. Okay. Alderwoman Carroll has a question.
So you don't wanna use these because of the price difference?
That is correct. At the last meeting, we basically said we didn't care, we liked them all. Now we found out the price difference. And being the fact that we're about $750,000 over budget already as is, we're looking for savings.
Okay,
And we've used the stucco in multiple other buildings, and it's pretty common, looks nice. So now we already use the stucco.
and the coloring of the stucco, you can still do it and it'll look nice? Okay. I don't care what they want their building made out of.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I was
thank you.
looking at.
I've already seen it.
And just to be clear, P and Z did say either one was acceptable.
Yeah, they just recommended one over the other, but yes.
Here's an example of different colored.
Oh,
stuff,
okay.
So you can get, there'll be
It's still the red and
yeah,
blue
there'll be a red
and,
and a blue, but this is from a different project. That
okay.
gives you an example of how it can be colored.
Does it come pre-colored or you paint it?
No, it's comfy.
It comes.
Huh. You probably already saw it.
And this is the stucco, or what this is the one that would have the foam backer board on it, is that right? Did you guys hear that? This is the one they want to use, the one,
Besides these colors.
right.
You said the stucco does meet the UDC requirement?
Yes, correct.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the site plan at 603 Southwest First Street, Oak Grove, Missouri for nationwide trailers as recommended by the Planning and Zoning Committee. All in favor, say aye. Oh, wait a minute, excuse me, any discussion? No? All in favor, say aye.
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 Wait a
No
minute, he has
discussion?
discussion? Go ahead.
Well, you've already voted, so it doesn't matter now,
It does matter, right?
not really.
No, I haven't said opposed yet.
What was the question?
I was just gonna, I mean, the way it was worded, as recommended by the Planning and Zoning, I didn't know if we needed to
Yeah, I was gonna,
clarify that we
Oh.
really wanted to approve the site plan as proposed with either, yeah, they proposed it with either type of material, but as recommended by the Planning and Zoning was with one specific material. So I didn't know if that was not exactly how we
I'll
wanted to.
modify my motion to indicate that they can use either material.
Well, but the overall thing of the Planning and Zoning was just to approve the site plan.
they approved it with the panels, right?
Yeah,
With the
specific
specification of the
motion was with
panels?
the
Okay.
panels, right?
All right.
So,
We'll slow down. Okay, let's back up. Would you modify your motion,
I
Brad?
modified my motion to either material. Use either material.
Okay. We have a motion to
So-
approve the site plan for either material.
So why did they not want this other material? Just because they like the dimensions of the other?
The minutes, if you read in the
I
minutes.
did read all the minutes.
Yeah, it was just by appearance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if I
I
may, I
think the
think that-
samples are a little deceiving also because if you, I mean, when it's up there, you're, you know, the final exterior surface is gonna, but when you're holding the sample and you feel the block of the one versus just a thin, you know.
Yeah.
Because behind, would you explain to them how that foam board goes behind that stucco, so it makes it thicker?
So the nitrock panel, if that's a cementous panel, that's the actual finish and the material. The sample is just the coating that goes over the substrate of the wall. So as far as the colors go, that material is only, an 1/8 inch thick over a foam backer with multiple layers of cementous coating behind that material. So I don't know if that makes sense or not.
Yes, it
Yeah.
does.
And then I'll point out one more thing, as far as how they lay out grids, there's some, on that drawing, you can see there's some grid patterns. That'll be another release that we cut into stucco, so it looks like there's units. of
Still
tile
panels,
material.
yeah.
That's part of the design as well.
Okay.
I still second the motion.
Okay, you second Brad's
Yeah.
motion? So I have a motion and a second to approve the site plan with either of the exterior surfaces. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, gentlemen. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding a lease agreement between City of Oak Grove and the Oak Grove Historical Society. Mr. Randall, do you have a report?
Yes, brief. So this would renew the current lease agreement between the City of Oak Grove and the Oak Grove Historical Society. The current lease ends April 15th of this year. This would extend that lease to April 15th of 2022.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and 2 seconds to approve the lease agreement with the City of Oak Grove and the Oak Grove Historical Society. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Mr. Randall, do you have a report?
No report, thank you, Mayor.
Chris, do you have a report? You got to have something, right? You haven't been here in a while.
I've been here.
Okay.
I'm just blending into the background.
That's right, yeah.
No report.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Sherwood, do you have a report?
Yes, the test of the outdoor warning system will be Tuesday in conjunction with the annual statewide tornado drill for Missouri and Kansas. It'll be at 10 a.m. instead of 11, as it usually is on the first Wednesday monthly test. And we'll be testing a lot of systems in addition to outdoor warning systems, including the weather radios. And people that get a message, it will actually say tornado warning. So don't panic. The weather looks really good.
Thank you. Thanks for telling us.
Just in case, the backup day is Thursday, if we can't get it done tomorrow morning.
Okay. Thank you. Chief, do you have a report?
Yes, just some information about the department. While I must care about staffing, training, and make sure that they're properly equipped, I also have to think about the troops as well. So today is the first day of our 6-week weight loss challenge. We have to think about their bodies and minds as well. So hopefully we will have great numbers to show at the end of this 6 weeks. I've already seen a competitive edge with food baiting around the department. So they have all voluntarily, it is voluntary, but they're paying a fee to get into this, and they're in it to win it.
Yeah.
So we're going to see how this goes, and please don't solicit food for the PD. I want them to succeed. but-
Only if we hear they're getting grumpy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Tom, do you have a report?
I just want to say that Public Works is not doing a weight loss challenge, so I have nothing.
Wouldn't want that all at one time, yeah. Kathy, you have a report? All right, thank you. Scott?
No report other than I'll be out of office Thursday. I'll be back Friday. So
Okay.
that's it.
Thank you. Kim, do you have a report?
I need to join that weight loss. No report.
All right. Jim?
No report. No report.
I just wanted to say that the Public Works guys have just been like at it for the last few weeks. Like, there's been snow removal, then into water main breaks, and I have seen them busy all over town working. And, it's nice to see their work ethic and it doesn't go unnoticed. So,
Thank you. I'll pass it on to him.
Yeah.
I'm just glad February's over.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
I do not have a report. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. We are adjourned. Where's my gavel tonight? It's gone. Who took it? You don't want me having it?